The triangle's on fire, ladies and gentlemen, and that's a good thing. Like heating up.
Yeah, not literally.
Not literally.
That would have been in the weather update.
No, yeah. No need to head for the exits. But Canes, a couple nights ago, smashed the NHL leading Golden Knights. And then last night, everybody decided to win. Duke gets a top 10 win, the first under Shire. UNC ends a 2-game losing streak with a win over number 7 in the country, Oklahoma. NC State men's basketball gets a dub. NC State's women's basketball, which is one of the best teams in the country, gets a dub. Dubs all around. You get a win, and you get a win, and you get a win.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, it's a holiday time, right? Everybody's having a good time. UNC bounced back in a big way against Oklahoma last night. Let's start there, shall we? RJ Davis is a legit All-American at the moment. If you pay attention to college basketball social media, all of the experts seem to come around to it after the game last night. Oh, he's playing like an All-American. If you've been listening to this show, you know he's been playing as an All-American. He is second in the country in points per game against quad 1 opponents, which means he's actually playing better against good teams than he is against the others. Now, you might say that's because North Carolina has pretty much only played good teams, and I might agree with you. Their schedule has been rough, but RJ Davis has been there time and time and time again. He's actually kind of shaking the reputation I had for him.
He actually might be solidifying himself for ACC Player of the Year just in late December.
In the non-conference.
And in the non-conference portion of the schedule,
He's the non-conference ACC Player of the Year. I kind of like that. But RJ Davis, to me, kind of one of the ways I would have described him up until the last month is streaky, right? He's somebody that could, for 2 or 3 games, light it up. Sometimes it would be like 12 minutes he would light it up, and then he could be quiet for the rest of the game or quiet for the rest of the week. He's been absolutely a different player when it comes to consistency, and you have to tip your hat to that. And that's what his coach does here. Hubert Davis asked if RJ Davis is playing with a chip on his shoulder.
I wouldn't say it's a chip on his shoulder. I would just say it's growth. I know it's hard because collegiate sports, specifically basketball, you forget about the guys that stay till their senior year. It used to be that way. Just every year you matured, you got better. He talked about, and his teammates about his leadership. That's something that is a big difference this year compared to other years. I mean, for him to step up in so many different ways, he's an outstanding defensive player. He's really stepped it up on that end. And not just the 23 points, but the 5 assists and 0 turnovers. That's real. And so I'm just really happy for him. I feel like this is the first time that he is being celebrated, supported, encouraged, and noticed, and I love it.
It's the 7th time in his career he's had 20 and 5. The first time he ever had no turnovers with 20 points and 5 assists.
Thanks, Christian.
Thanks, Steve.
Just a solid little tidbit there at the end. Throw in 4 rebounds. Like he did a little bit of everything. He is becoming the type of dependable that you need to have on a really good team. Harrison Ingram. Let's talk about Harrison Ingram for a second here. He continues to be the most pleasant surprise of the season for the Tar Heels and maybe for all of the teams that I cover. He is fun to watch. It's funny because we were talking with Hubert Davis on this show not too long ago. And I asked him, I said, hey, you did the media thing for a while. Coach Davis obviously did. I said, who on your team do you see most likely having the opportunity to have a career in media? Hopefully, and I added this, hopefully long after a very, very long playing career, right? After you go to the NBA and you make it pro and all those sorts of things. Who could then do the media thing? He said, Harrison Ingram. He said the personality. He said he's unintentionally funny and intentionally funny. He said if you get to know this kid, he's a class personality. He kind of plays like that. He plays so comfortable, right? You know how. Actually, I'll use this business, right? Some people, meaning the business that Graham and I are in. Some people put a microphone in front of their face and it's like
To be fair, I still do that sometimes.
No, Graham, you're comfortable. But It's like, no, we were just talking in the commercial break, and you were telling a story, and you were charismatic, and you were laughing, and you had me laughing, and it was insightful, and there were interesting characters in your story. And then we get on air, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you were just telling this story. Go ahead and tell it to us again. And they're like, I was there, and so was, and I'm, oh no. Harrison Ingram is the opposite of that. He's somebody that you turn the lights on game day. There's no difference.
There's
right?
no turnover. There's no falling into the out of bounds marker.
There's no, shot clock winding down. Ha, ha, ha. He just, all right, let me lean to the left. All right, defender there. Let me go off 1 foot, put it off the glass, and good.
Bang.
Oh, look, there's chaos. Ball's on the ground. Let me dive for it, and once I get my hands on it, I'm not going to panic. I'm not going to call timeout. I'm going to keep my head on a swivel from the ground, make an outlet pass. Boom, we're in a fast break. Like, he is a comfortable person with the lights on him, and he's a transfer. And I don't care where you came from. Transferring to a school like UNC, the lights are brighter. Right, there's more eyeballs on you. There's more alumni to live up to. You have, UNC great on the bench in Hubert Davis. You have a UNC great as your teammate in Armando Bacot. You have like RJ Davis is somebody that you probably were like, hey, he's been around a while. And Harrison Ingram just fits. I'm very impressed by him. He plays a wildly comfortable game. And I'm still waiting on Armando Bacot. I was hoping last night was going to be the breakout game, and he played well at times. I'm still waiting on the 20 and 10 in a big game from Armando. I'm still waiting on it.
Yeah, but here's the thing, and I'm glad you brought this up, because after the game I saw a lot of Carolina fans saying, great win, imagine how good we'd be if Armando Bacot played well. He still scored 14 points going 4 of 9 from the field, and in my opinion, he kind of had the Kenny Meeks effect of just being a defensive
Kennedy
player.
Meeks.
That might be why some Carolina fans are not happy with his performance.
It's a bar being higher than that thing, right? Because I'll give him this too. Some of his defense, particularly keeping guys in front of him, led to steals by others, right? When you have a big guy that's moving his feet and the way he handled some of the pick and roll defense, he's going to be an advanced mind when it comes to those sort of basketball things. High basketball IQ. But the fact of the matter is, he's a 2-time first-team All-ACC selection. Right? I remember Kennedy Meeks. Really liked Kennedy Meeks. Armando Bacot, I expect to be better than that. Right? He's done it so many times that, it's like I said. And actually, we said this right after the Kentucky game. I'm not sure if you were producing. I said there are a lot of guys in college basketball that 9.6 rebounds against Kentucky would be like a career night. Unfortunately for Armando Bacot, he needs to double that to have a solid night. He needs to be 18 and 12. What was it? 14 and 8? Is that what he finished with?
4 of 9.
No, 14 points and
14 points, 4 of 9 from the field.
Okay. That's a solid night for a lot of guys, right? Big man shooting a little below 50%. Okay. Against a good team in a win.
Some big blocks too.
Like I said, the defense was there. But for Armando Bacot, I need a little more. And I'm still waiting on it. I'm not giving up on it. I'm saying it's in there somewhere. We know it is. But I'm still waiting on it. That wasn't the best we're going to see from Armando Bacot this season.